Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 20 of this 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now, before we get on to week 20 and the predictions, let's have a look back at the behemoth, which was week 19.
So last week, had an average week, had 12 points with one perfect score, I believe, which was the Aston Villa 2-0 victory over Newcastle.
I, Nathan, came away with 15 points, 3 perfect scores, so yeah, pretty pleased with that, whereas the previous week was absolute pants. Representing the viewers last week was friend of the show, the Dugout Football Channel, and Douglas came away with 15 points, the same as me, and 3 perfect results. So congratulations on that score, Douglas. Top scorer of the week with a brilliant score of 19 points and 4 perfect scores was Abdullah Ghalib. So yeah, congratulations on that 19-point haul, Abdullah. Looking at the overall league table, which is on the screen now, you can see that Mahmoud Conte, who scored just 8 points this week, or in week 19, still on top on 135 points from, in second place, LFC 96 YNWA. Nathan, you've moved up to 12 points now on 12th position now on 118 points, and I've moved up to 14th position. Doug is currently in 20th position on 113 points, and if you look there, top scorer of the week, Abdullah Ghalib, has moved up to 38th position. But yeah, as I just scroll down the table here, see if you can spot yourself all the way down to 200 and something, I believe. Yeah, 216 people now playing along in the league. But yeah, let's try and catch Mahmoud at the top of the table. So that's it for week 19. Nathan, yeah, massive week as we said already. But let's make some predictions for week 20.
Okay, so first up we got the Tuesday games, and starting with Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Now Palace getting absolutely destroyed by Manchester City last week 4-0. I thought they were going to be on a resurgence after a terrible Christmas period, but they came back a little bit, but now they're starting to drop off. And West Ham, they actually got a good win last time around against West Brom, and have been on pretty good form since then, having 3 wins on the bounce with wins from Burnley and Everton. Low scoring games, may I add, only 1-0, sort of 1-0 victories. So their defence is really holding out, and they're starting to play well as well. In terms of this one, Palace have been patchy, but then again they have had a tricky run of form. So I don't know about this one. I think it's going to be like the reverse fixture, and it'll be a stalemate, so 1-1. Yeah,
this will be a close match, Nathan. All these games are taking place on BT Sport and on TalkSport as well. All these games this week, interesting there. West Ham, on a fine run of form at the moment, find themselves in 7th position, as you've already said, coming up against the Crystal Palace side, of course managed by Roy Hodgson, and they've actually started to recruit now, so it'll be interesting to see how the new players. I think I definitely signed one player, and that player is... But in terms of this match, okay, they did finish 1-1 earlier in the season. I think, yeah, West Ham going through in the FA Cup as well into the 5th round. I think Palace lost 3 at home all season. West Ham lost 3 away all season. It does look like it's going to be a draw. However, I think with West Ham's form recently, they're just going to sneak through in this one, and I can see a narrow 1-0 victory to the Hammers.
Interesting.
Next up, also on Tuesday evening, we have Newcastle against Leeds. Both teams in not the best of forms at the moment.
Terrible.
Newcastle find themselves in 16th position, 5 losses out of their last 6 fixtures. Haven't scored in the last 3 matches.
Some of those losses as well. Sheffield United, Arsenal, Leicester. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Whereas Leeds, okay, they've lost their last 2 matches, losing, of course, in the FA Cup against Crawley in that time. Yeah, what do we say? Difficult one to predict, but Newcastle can't score. Leeds do look like they can score. They create plenty of chances, so... I actually think, because Newcastle haven't scored in the last few weeks, I think they're going to actually put the ball in the onion bag in this one. However, I think Leeds will come out on top, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory.
Yeah, Newcastle struggling to score, but if you look at that Leeds defence, absolutely abysmal.
That's why I'm saying,
especially against Crawley. But I think Leeds are just going to completely overrun Newcastle. Newcastle are just going to struggle for the rest of the season now. They're going to keep slipping and slipping down the table. So I'm going to go for a solid 3-1 Leeds victory, which means that Leeds would have done the double against Newcastle this season. Next up, we've got Southampton versus Arsenal. Now Southampton actually knocking Arsenal out of the FA Cup the other day, 1-0. So the question is, will it be a repeat? Now, both of them really had full strength squads out, if you think about it, in a way.
Ish, yes.
Both full strength ish. And also today, Mesut Ozil has officially left the club. He has gone and signed for Fenerbahce today as well. That was much needed for him since he wasn't even in the match, since he wasn't even in the squad, quite frankly. So, but Southampton, I think they'll win it again. And they'll score one extra goal as well, 2-0.
2-0. You see about Arsenal putting out a strong team, okay, yeah, fairly strong, okay, Aubameyang wasn't even in the squad. I think Thomas Partey came on, and Lacazette came on as well, so, but they still couldn't beat that Saints team. So early in the season this finished 1-1. I think it's going to be very tight again. Arsenal should have a little bit more firepower. There's rumours that Danny Ings, people, different teams are sniffing around him, the likes of Everton, possibly Leicester as well, and Leicester could do with another striker. However, I think it's going to end at all square. They're going to cancel each other out in this one, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. Next up, we got West Brom against Manchester City, final game on Tuesday evening. West Brom has sort of Samuel Allardyce got his feet under the table there now, and they're looking a lot better than they did prior to him coming into the managerial role. Manchester City, massive news for them. Kevin De Bruyne is out injured for a number of weeks now. I think it's a hamstring issue, so they're definitely going to miss him. But this Manchester City squad, total quality throughout. They're defensively now solid. They're currently in second position. I think they've only lost once since October as well.
Very good form.
So even with De Bruyne out, I think Manchester City are going to win this one, and I'm going to go for a comprehensive 3-0 victory.
Actually, saying that as well, Man City have one game in hand, and if they actually win that game in hand, they do go top of the league, which is very interesting. But De Bruyne, we've seen it before where he's been injured and they've been able to cope without him.
They cope, but they do struggle to score the goals then,
They do struggle to score the goals because of the lack of playmaking, but their main issue really at Man City is the defence, even though it is starting to shore up a little bit. But coming up against West Brom side, who don't look promising, the board is not backing Allardyce by the looks of things, which is just a recipe for disaster waiting to happen. They're not going to be able to improve as far as I'm aware, so I'm going to go for a solid 4-0 Manchester City victory here.
You say about the defence, they've got the best defence in the league, 13 goals conceded in 18 matches. No one comes close to that. I'm just looking down the table now. Exactly. Tottenham conceded 17 and Aston Villa 18.
Exactly, but I was just looking on past experience, especially from last season as well, where they really did struggle at the back. But anyway, next up, moving on to Wednesday night, we've got Burnley versus Aston Villa. Now Burnley moving up to 15th in the table, just inconsistent as anything. They did beat Liverpool last time round and ended Anfield's unbeaten run, of course, but then they were getting losses to West Ham and Man United. But then again, Man United, we'll look at the form they've been on recently, just patchy, inconsistent, losing to teams that they sort of shouldn't be losing to. You really can't predict it with Burnley at the moment, and they're coming up against an equally inconsistent Villa team who, yes, they did beat Newcastle 2-0 last time around, but they did lose 2 matches prior to that. But then again, look at the difficult run of fixtures they've had, and to be fair, out of Man City, Man United and Chelsea, they were lucky to take 1 point of that, so tricky. But I think Villa should start to bounce back and get those wins on the board, so I reckon it is going to be a 2-1 victory to the Villains.
Interesting, yeah. Aston Villa going forward, very excited. Burnley resolute at the back. I was watching their defence against Liverpool, and they were putting their bodies on the line. Jurgen Klopp was not happy with the amount of tackles flying in there. But,
that's football, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I think Burnley are going to come out on top of this one. Difference of opinion here, Nathan. And I am actually going to go for a 1-0 victory to the home side. Yeah. Well, if you look at their last 5 matches, they've all ended up 1-0 to either the home or the away side. So yeah, 1-0 for me in this one. Next up, we've got 9th place Chelsea. Chelsea in the league have been poor, won 2 matches out of their last 6. Last time out, losing away against Leicester. I think I put down a draw for that, when I don't know why. This afternoon, they've won in the FA Cup, winning 3-1 against, I think it's Luton, wasn't it?
Yes.
Tammy Abraham scoring a hat-trick. Timo Werner, the hapless Timo Werner, missing a penalty, unfortunately. For
things couldn't get worse for him. Someone needs to teach him how to shoot. But one player in particular that was probably the worst on the pitch was Caper in that one. Right. Absolutely terrible performance once again. I mean, Luton were very unlucky that they didn't get a few more in that.
Absolutely. But look, coming up against Wolves winless in their last 6. Don't know what's happened to Wolves this season. They find themselves in 14th position, astonishingly. Losing last time out at home against West Brom. So difficult one to predict, this one. But I'm actually going to go for a Chelsea win in this one.
Interesting.
Wolves at the moment don't look that great. They're losing games when they could be drawing them. Yeah, not great. Chelsea's going to take heart, confidence from that victory against Luton in the FA Cup. Probably see Tammy Abraham start against Wolves in this one. He'll be full of confidence after that hat-trick. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the home side, Chelsea.
Interesting. Well, the thing with Wolves is you will only beat them if you've got a good tactical manager, because Wolves, they play the same football in, week out. They don't change their style of play at all, and there's literally no plan B with when they play. They always keep it the same, and especially when they've gone to this 4 at the back compared to their 5 at the back from the last 2 seasons in the Prem. They really have struggled this year, I think, and the loss of Doherty has really costed them on that one. So, but with Chelsea's recent form and the fact that Timo Werner is probably going to play again on the wing, I don't know, Wolves are probably going to end up grinding out a draw again, I reckon. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 Chelsea Wolves draw.
I don't think Werner will. I think he'll be on the bench. I think Ziyech and Pulisic should be the wingers.
I don't know. I think Frank will still play him somehow. But moving on, next up we've got Brighton versus Fulham. Quite a tasty game. 17th versus 18th.
This is for me possibly the game. Well, apart from Spurs Liverpool, this is the game of the week.
This is the game of the week, and probably will be on the thumbnail as well. But Brighton, you just don't know with them, quite frankly. I mean, they did beat Leeds 1-0 last time around, but look at the run of form that Leeds are on at the moment. And then Fulham losing 2 games on the bounce. They lost the Fulham derby and they lost the Manchester United game as well, even though they did fully well score, but they can't win. Fulham literally just cannot win at the moment, and with the way that Brighton are playing, I mean, the football hipsters will be very happy about this one in terms of liking Graham Potter, but they're going to grind out a 1-0 victory.
I'm going exactly the same as you and Nathan on this one. I'm going for a Brighton 1-0 victory. Fulham looking good, just can't score enough goals, can they? No. So against Brighton, I think Brighton got a little bit more attacking prowess about them. Fulham solid defensively at the moment, even though they did concede those 2 goals. They were actually very unlucky against Manchester United that they didn't get something out of that game, but I think Brighton at home on the South Coast are going to beat Fulham in this one. Next up we got Everton at home against Leicester. Now this is possibly the most difficult fixture of the week to predict. Jamie Vardy is out with, I think he's having some hip surgery or something, so he's going to be out for a number of weeks. Everton have only lost 1 in 7 matches now, I believe.
Ancelotti really turning it round.
It is.
Great wins there as well. But look at the teams they've been playing once again.
And Leicester, who are in 3rd position, haven't lost either in their last 6 fixtures. So I think they're just going to cancel each other out. I don't think Leicester are going to have the firepower in this one. They're going to be looking to their midfield, the likes of Maddison and Barnes, etc., to score the goals.
Chowdhury,
Everton,
Tielemans,
I'm not sure. Everton, I'm not sure if Calvert-Lewin is back, but they've got, if anyone's going to win, it's going to be Everton. But I'm going to go for a draw in this one, 1-1.
Yeah, like you said, if anyone's going to win, it's going to be Everton, and really, I think that is going to happen. I don't know with Leicester. I think they're really going to struggle. I mean, they're currently running out against Brentford in the Championship.
I think they're losing as well.
Yeah, they are. It's half time in that one. I believe Iosi Perez is on his own up front, which is just a recipe for disaster, really. But apparently, they've really struggled to get into that game as well. So Leicester are doomed to struggle in this one. So I'm going to go for 2-1 Everton. Next up, we've got Man United versus Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United getting back to their typical ways, losing 3-1 to Tottenham. But then again, they did get that victory over Newcastle. Look at Newcastle recently. Embarrassing. But to be fair, that was the first game in a while that they've let in more than 2 goals, which is sort of unfortunate for Sheffield United. And look who they're playing, Man United, 3 at the top of the table at the moment, winning everything, getting a good 2-1 victory over Fulham last time around, even though they should have been tighter at the back. But I don't know, Sheffield United, they like to tease a goal, and I think they should be able to walk through that struggling defence of Sheffield United. So I'm going to go for 3-1 Man United.
Interesting. So another Manchester United
another Man United
victory,
win.
yeah.
Come on, guys. I don't hate them. Well,
there we are. Excellent. Yeah, Manchester United against Sheffield United. This is going to be a straightforward victory to the Red Devils in this one. I don't think Sheffield United will be able to break that Manchester United rear guard. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Manchester United in this one. They've got too much going forward and exciting, pace in that attack. Fernandes needs to get, in recent weeks he hasn't been at his best, but Pogba's been really good. So 2-0 to Man United for me in this one. And the final match of this game week is Spurs at home against Liverpool. I think this takes place on Thursday at, not sure what time, probably around about 8 o'clock. Earlier in the season, Liverpool beat Tottenham at Anfield 2-1. However, Liverpool in 4th position. They're 6 points behind Manchester United at the time of recording. They haven't actually scored in 4 league matches now, which is terrible.
That's awful.
Losing last time out at home for the first time in 2 years against Burnley.
That was poor, that.
Prior to that, they did get that 0-0 draw against Manchester United, which I predicted, and prior to that, they lost away against Southampton. So Liverpool not in the best of forms. Later on today, they're playing Manchester United in the FA Cup. This video will probably be going out after that.
That will be out after
that fixture. So I fancy Spurs in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think the way that Spurs are playing at the moment, it's only been 2 wins for them in their last 6, but they did beat Sheffield United and the likes of Leeds, which you expect a team like Tottenham to beat. But I think they're going to come through against Liverpool. It could end up in a draw, this one, actually. No, I'm going to stick with that 2-1 to Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 to Tottenham as well. Liverpool, they're now starting to struggle to. They're now struggling to score goals, especially considering that before they were struggling. They were really struggling to shore up at the back because of the amount of injury issues they have up there. So they're having problems at every place on the pitch now. So I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs. They should easily cruise past Liverpool and dump Liverpool in 5th place out of the Champions League places.
Klopp won't be happy with that.
No.
So that concludes our predictions for week 20 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now, a couple of things we need to do, Nathan. Your nap of the week.
This is difficult now. I never go for the obvious one, so I am going to go for Newcastle versus Leeds. A Leeds win to be nap of the week. Okay, my nap of the week, I'm going to go for the obvious in this one. I'm going to go for a Manchester United win against Sheffield United. But Nathan, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add? So channel link in description below. I think I've uploaded every day for the past 4 days now with all the Cardiff City saga, so make sure you go watch all those videos, and there'll be a watch along on Wednesday night for Cardiff City versus Barnsley as well. Be there.
First match in charge for Mick McCarthy, of course.
It is indeed. Mick McCarthy's Barmy Army. Make sure you're there for the watch along, 7 o'clock, guys.
Fantastic. And as usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. If you want to play along at home, get yourself up that league table, then make sure you leave your predictions in the comments section. And like Abdullah Galib, if you're top scorer next week, then you'll get a shout out. And I will be picking somebody at random, probably on Monday evening, and maybe I'll do a YouTube short on us picking that from the random generating website that we use. But for now, we'd like to bid you all farewell, and we'll see you in the next video. And make sure you enjoy the football during the week. You going to say cheers, guys?
No.